plus years of experience. Then I work predominantly on the Microsoft side of the technologies. Then I transitioned to Azure, and then to Power BI and the generative AI area. So as part of my work, I do use the GenAI to build a couple of solutions. We already deployed 3 solutions for our client. So I do these trainings, the on the generative AI, Power BI, Azure. So yeah, thanks. Welcome. Today focus is on the generative AI. I know you're all interested to understand and explore, use it. So to get better understanding, if you can do the survey, that would be really helpful. Okay, good. So let's get started. So the generative AI, I really want to call it as the new Microsoft Office. I hope you will understand why it is why I'm saying it as a new Microsoft Office. Probably you will realize it more by the end of this course as well. So this is my take on it. I think by now we are all using the either of these generative AI tools, be it especially it all starts with ChatGPT, then probably Gemini. If you're in the office, you may be using Copilot. I think by now we are all bound to use the generative AI tools as part of the organization setup policy, whatever we can call, but it become like an Excel application on our machine. We have to use it. We have to use it. But the realization of why I'm really calling it as an office, that you will understand it by the end of our whole journey. Okay, why everybody is really pushing, or why everybody wants us to use it. You'll understand that aspect, or you'll realize it even more as we go. So this is my forecast. This is how I am looking at. Nobody really given you training of how to use generative AI, just like nobody has given you training on how to use Microsoft Office, be it Excel, PowerPoint, or any other Microsoft tool. But everyone expects us to know all those tools. It's an assumption that we know it, and whether we realize it or not, that's the same expectation which is coming up for us to use the generative AI. Nobody really gave any training, but it's taken as an assumption that okay, you know the generative AI, start using it. Yeah, it all starts with one single question on these chat boxes. That's how it starts. But fundamentally, nobody really made us to understand what is the best way to use, how to do it, or why should I do it. So no context, nothing. Just that the expectation is to just use it. And believe me, it has that power. We are all seeing good amount of changes across the industry with respect to generative AI. If you are following the industry news everywhere, so it is the tool that is going to be in focus for some more time until at least the quantum computing comes into the picture or to the masses. But I think that's a different game and the beast altogether. Probably not every one of us will play a role there. But the generative AI is going to be the new wave. I think it's already 3 years into it, right? So good. I think before we go, let me just quickly look at the review. In the survey. So good. Thanks. Let me just put it on screen. Then we'll go further into the slides. Okay. So I got 5 responses, which is good start. So yeah, some has a basic understanding of neural networks, some concepts. Okay. We essentially need to, do we need to know? I think the answer is straight no. We don't need to know anything about the machine learning concepts, but it's good to have a fair idea of it. This foundational knowledge or the very much basic knowledge will help you, especially when you are troubleshooting it. Good. I see we are from the testing and development background. I assume it's this category for everyone. Okay, nobody is working on generative AI, but I think you are still using the generative AI. I'll take that as an yes. Yeah, I think there is a fair amount of people who started the Python journey, which is good. Then what is that you are expecting? So you are expecting to learn the fundamentals. We will cover it. We will, yeah, we will make calls to these systems through Python. Image generation models. No, we are not going to build any model. No, we are not even going to build any text generation models. We will just consume them. That's completely a different skill. That's where we have to know the core machine learning concepts. Okay, so that's a different discipline altogether. But we are not going to build anything. Yeah. Any question?
Yeah, I have one question here.
Yes,
Like, so this session is to just how we integrate this Gen AI in our technologies. Is that
absolutely. Yes. Okay, so we will be consuming and integrating with our applications. Yeah, this is the whole goal. Apply a to a specific project, your application. That's the whole thing what we are going to do. We'll understand what's happening in this industry too. Yeah, this group will stay forever, where you can all speak together and do it. What is the primary focus of interest? Image generation models. Okay, I will give you the platforms, but we are not going to really use them extensively because our focus, the background is predominantly on the development, the software engineering side of the business, right? So there are tools available. If you know the specifics of the photography, if you know the specifics of the videography and all, yeah, there are tools available. I think the one of the concept we will learn in this journey is the prompting. um, the moment you get more understanding of the prompting and the RAG, you can leverage the same skill here for these diffusion models or the GANs. Um, Text generation, yeah, this is our 99% of the focus. We will be using these language models for doing lots and lots of examples and the all these use cases, whatever we are going to implement. Audio generation, video generation, stand same. There are tools. The prompting is the key technique. RAG is the technique which gives you more accuracy. So we will leverage that. Same thing goes with 3D model generation as well. We are not going to generate any models. There are tools available though, but the technique stands same. Okay, our focus is completely on the text generation because we as software engineers write good amount of documentation. We as program managers produce more documents, more PPTs, more Excels. We end up in doing lots of analysis on the Excel files, writing queries. So it's all text. So the primary focus or the only focus, if I may say in that way, it's all the text generation. Okay, so we are going to interact with multiple models. That's the whole area of the focus for our session. Okay, somebody said no idea. That's fine. So ChatGPT is one, the most popular one, just like Google. Then okay, there are no questions. Let's hold it here. Good. Thanks. Let's close this. So yes. Any questions before we start?
Krishna, yes.
Yes.
So you are covering this how we integrate the into our application. So are
Yes.
you taking any particular technology like Python or
Okay.
Java, .NET?
Hmm. The focus is on the Python.
Okay.
Okay. The focus is on the Python. It is not the only tool, but you get ample amount of libraries in the market. Okay. But if you wanted to use it with your application in your technology, there
Mhm.
is no blocker as such. Every model, whatever we use, they all have APIs. We can consume the APIs in the language of your interest, in the language of your application.
Okay.
Okay, but our focus predominantly goes on the Python because the moment you go to Google and ask some questions around it, you will
Mhm.
get examples on the Python. So it's good to know Python. It's good to understand it. Once you understand what are the nuances that we need to pay attention or what is that we need to write on, you can adopt the same thing to your programming language.
If
Yeah.
we are not technically aware of Python, so
Okay.
uh, are we every? What do you think? We will be able to cope up with the implementation, or however you are consuming this?
Yes. So what we would be learning in this journey is the first module itself is all about Python review. Okay. I purposefully put it a Python review because we are not going to spend large amount of time on learning the Python,
Mhm.
but I will all you get started on the Python. So we will start with what is Python, how to do the variables, how to do the basic output, input constructs, the exception handling, try catch. So I'll start drawing the parallels with other programming languages, probably be it C Sharp, Java, whatever it
Mhm.
is. Okay. So I'll give you a fair idea and what is that basically we require the IO operations. I mean, to say the file reading, file saving, all those things. So we will go to till that extent and we'll stop there. Okay.
Okay.
So we will learn the Python to the extent. I think that would be a good kickstart for you to take your journey further.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So in this journey, I think there would be 10 to 15 sessions at max for Python.
Mhm.
Uh, then we will use the same skill or for writing all our code further.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem. So that's the whole idea. So we'll start with environment setup. Um, these LLM models, they have APIs, as I said. So there is some cost that is going to incur. But to save that effort, let's set up everything on our personal machines. I assume everyone has a personal machine. I will help you to set up the whole environment, the development environment. If you're interested to use these APIs, they will incur a bit of a cost. It's not bigger cost, in fact. So I paid probably 500 rupees, $5, almost 6 to 7 months back. I'm still using the same quota for my experimentation purposes. So you can use them. I will also show you how to use them. But the local setup is something that we will start with. We will install Ulama, Visual Studio Code, especially. So all those things. Then we will understand Python. We will focus more theoretically initially on what is this AI, how generative AI matters, and how different it is. Then we'll focus more on the generative AI. What is it? Why it is? What are the various models in it? When we're talking about that GAN models, LLMs, transformer architecture, M8, mixture of experts. So you might have heard all these terms. We will look at all of them. Then we will interact with them through the prompt engineering. There are techniques around it. You might have heard something called reasoning. Models are able to do reasoning. We will see how that can be achieved. Models can interact with some other applications, function calling. So we will see how that can be achieved as well. So there is one more critical concept, which is the RAG, retrieval augmented generation. These models have some knowledge, a general knowledge. So in the RAG, what we will do is we will connect the general knowledge with our specific knowledge or your own application contextual knowledge. So that's one key technique because this is where the accuracy of the model will increase. This is one key technique. We will spend good amount of time in writing these generative AI models. Okay. To do this, we need to do a bit of a data curation. We need to prepare a bit of a data. So I will also show you. It's not a big data science skill as such, but there are any program, the fundamental principle stands same even today. Good input, good output. Bad input, bad output. So same thing for all these models. Text is the input, the data, right? So we need to curate it a bit. Otherwise, models may get confused and they may end up giving wrong answers, wrong predictions. Okay. So we will also do that. I'll show you the technique. Technique name, we will in fact write code for the agents. We will build agents. There are 3 different frameworks. We will leverage all of them. LangGraph, that's one. The LangFlow, a visual tool completely. No need to write not even a single line of code. Then comes it's parallel to the N8N. You might have heard it. The another one is the Crew A, we will also use them. Then I'll also show you how to deploy it in the Python. But what I've seen more often is the by the time it reaches a good portion, people are converting them into their own programming language, because Python fundamentally has one trade-off, not a problem, but it's a trade-off. This language has no compiler. It's pure interpreter, which means it does the heavy lifting of which is string, which is int, which is float and all. So naturally, it requires more resources. So generally, these applications are not directly deployed into production. Rather, they will be converted into more of an compiler-oriented programming languages. So let's say Java, .NET, C, C++, C as well. People are converting it. So it will be ported into either of those languages and deployed. But yeah, we can directly deploy our Python code as well. There is no restriction. And we would be also extending further to the MCP, model context protocol, agent-to-agent protocols. We will also learn them, and we will start using them, how one agent can work with another agent. So we would be going into this path in the whole journey. Any questions? Okay. So if not, what is that you are going to learn? That's the next question. This is the theoretical way of seeing it. But yeah, this is what you are going to learn. You are going to learn Python. If you are not well versed with APIs, we will also discuss about it. And there are a couple of tools: LM Studio, Olama. These are offline development environment on offline LLM platforms. We will use them. We will integrate the OpenAI APIs into our system. Same logic applies for Gemini, Claude, any of this platform. In fact, Llama is from Meta. We can also use it. You will learn one key framework for the generative AI platform, which is the LangChain. So there are multiple frameworks by now, but LangChain is the dominant one, or most popular one. So LangChain is the framework which we are going to learn. That framework belongs to Python, by the way. So we will learn the LangChain and we will use it. So we will implement the RAG. We will also use Gradio, a small library, but it generates quick, bigger UIs very faster. Then we will build agents with these platforms: LangGraph, AutoGen, Crue, and LangFlow. Okay. So though the focus goes here, your core software engineering role still stands today, because we are going to use the APIs. We are going to use the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. We need to interact with the JSON. We need to still interact with IO. Our core technology component, this still stands valid even today. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So then what is that you are going to become after this? So your role sits, it's fundamentally an interjection of multiple disciplines. I know we are all software engineers. And this is where you are going to be it's AI engineer. So that's the role. If you Google it up, be it on LinkedIn, any job portal, in fact, the roles will be in the name of AI engineer. So instead of just the plain software engineer, the special role is the AI engineer. Now, do you need to develop the bots every time? The answer is probably no. But what is that you do? You would extend it to your roles. If you are a tester, you'll become AI test engineer, AI data engineer, AI cloud engineer, AI automation engineer. So what you are doing today, that is going to be adopted towards the generative AI. How quicker you can achieve your results are in your own discipline. Okay, how productive you can become. So we will learn this technique. So if you are a tester, how can I leverage these platforms to generate more test cases? If I'm a developer, how can I build my code bit faster, to say write the code faster? How can I identify any vulnerabilities in my code much faster? If I'm a business analyst, how can I create this business requirement document into more of a functional document than probably a technical document as well? If I'm into data, how can I make my prompts to generate the more analytics out of it? How can I give my logs to my generative AI and understand the RCA of an issue in the production? How can I make my generative AI to suggest me automations, fine tune the automations, fine tune the servers? So whatever you are going to do today, you are continue to going to do, but you are going to do it more productivity by using GenAI. So the core concept here is how can I leverage my GenAI and become the GenAI developer? Okay, so that's where the key concept of it is integrating with your applications, integrating daily with your work. That's how you are going to become the generative AI engineers in your current role. If you are looking for specific roles, the roles would be posted as AI engineers, Gen AI engineers. That's the general title across the industry. Okay, any questions? I know this is the interesting slide. Okay, fine. So the next one.
Krishna,
Yeah,
one
yes,
question. Yeah, my question here is like, does this connect to the legacy softwares, something like a
something like
mainframe technology?
mainframe. I think no, I'm not sure. I need to check that. Um, I think yeah, yes. Sorry, we have an offering. So yeah, I think it also has the mainframe. I think, but not every tool is good with mainframe. Probably Claude is doing better there, or we need to figure out which LLM is has that knowledge of the mainframes.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone picked it up. Yes,
Okay.
I can for sure say the C, C++. It also knows Pascal, COBOL.
Yeah,
Uh,
COBOL. See,
yeah,
basically mainframe use COBOL.
COBOL.
Uh,
Okay.
right. And COBOL mainly, we have a project of doing a mainframe modernization,
Mm-hmm.
converting the mainframe code to the Python and all.
Okay.
But does this help us like
It does. It does because the Claude, I think, I'm assuming it now. With Claude is more on the software engineering side. Claude
mhm.
LLMs. So I think yeah, we can look it out. We need to look for a bit
Okay.
of a documentation, but there would be some other model because I see mainframe is also in one of our offerings.
Okay.
I remember that. So I think it's there. Let me Google up a bit and let you know. Okay.
Sure, sure. No
I think
worries.
there are models for it. So we can that's the whole idea here. That's one big problem across the industry. There are more legacy systems. There are more Excel
Yeah.
macros on top of it. The whole digitalization is built. We see
Right.
memes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And nobody knows the macros now. So it's it is helping. So in fact we are using the this Copilot to
Mm-hmm.
convert the VBA macros, the Excel macros into the PowerShell scripts. The parallel
Okay.
we are generating those because at least I find good amount of documentation PowerShell
Mm.
than the VB macro.
Okay.
And people, in fact, are more happy to work on latest platforms than the older legacy platforms, right? So we are using it. We are using GitHub Copilot for it.
Okay. Yeah. No
Okay,
worries. Thank you.
thanks. So the next portion is, this is the role, but what is that you can do personally? If you're a core developer, I would say you can build your own companions, your own build shovels. There are, I think, almost every day some or the other generative AI application is coming up into the market. The build times have come down much smaller. So you can build your own tools, you can host them, you can sell them. Uh, I'll tell you one simple example. We were talking about RAG. So there is one big problem in the industry to fundamentally read data from the documents, read data from documents, be it especially in the area of PDFs, because PDF, it's not I mean, it's a structured document for us when we look at it, but for system, it's more of a scattered document, because whatever is written in the PDF, it is a canvas, so it has no structure for the system. It's very hard for major of system to really extract the data of PDFs, but our release notes are in PDF, FAQ is in PDF, major of the documentation is in PDF for so and so reasons, right? So to read the data, people build a solution, Llama Cloud. They used LLMs to extract the data out of the PDFs. It's not by writing the program, but they used LLMs to extract the data of it, because we are for reading the data from PDF. I think there are 6 to 7 major libraries, major active libraries, but everyone, I mean, each and every library has its own trade-offs. It can do only certain things, but they just use GenAI to build one company. They spin up a company, and it's good one. So that's another thing. If you are a core programmer, I would say leverage GenAI to build something that you can sell independently. Okay, you can build your own companions. If you are a content creator, boy, it's the easiest way. I think you might have seeing good amount of generative AI content generated in the YouTube, Instagram, especially the non-flow videos. I mean, right? So you can sense that it is generated through these systems. So even Google has their own tool. I think it's called a VO. OpenAI has something called Sora. So people are using those tools to generate the content and publish it. So that's a bigger industry. Then GenAI advocates, while everybody uses GenAI, it's hard to say, should I use GenAI here? It's hard to say why it is failing. So those are the problems. So you can also become that. Becoming a GenAI architect is the best thing to do now, because the industry is 3 years. Everybody uses GenAI because it's available as an app, but nobody has an answer the moment it stopped working, right? So it's a skill that you can develop now itself. At least in another 1 or 2 years, you can be that advocate. You can say, okay, should I use this here? Should I don't use it here? So you can be that coach. You can be that advocate of those things. Okay, so I mean, these are all the multiple opportunities which I've seen. People are spinning up companies. You can continue to be the developer, the engineer, content creators. You can leverage it very actively. So let me show you some examples. So for example, there are these tools. I think everyone knows ChatGPT, no doubt in that. Then there is a bit variant of ChatGPT, which is the Microsoft Copilot. I think this is what we use in our office environments. There is a difference between these two. Then from Facebook or the Meta, they have their own version of LLMs. It's their platform, which is Llama. That's their model names. So here, as you can see, you can generate these images, videos, all those things. Okay. Then Gemini is from the Google. Now Gemini become the leader all of a sudden. With their latest model, I think their latest model is Gemini 3.0. That's good. I think Nano Banana, we don't need to talk about this. Now this become a trend. People are posting or changing their photos and posting it much frequently, right? So Nano Banana is another image model. In fact, image model. Claude is also an LLM. It's predominantly used in the software engineering side, backed by Amazon. Then this is another common tool we use, which is GitHub Copilot, directly integrated into your VS Code out of the box, or even in fact any other platform. Then there is one more. This is not sure how many of you heard of it. This is GitHub Spark. This is an agentic system. Multiple agents work together to build the application for you. So you give your requirement, your synopsis of what you are really wanted to build or develop. The it takes that as an input, and it generates end-to-end application. At least, see, you can make a quick prototypes. So earlier, before these generative AI systems are available, if you need to make a POC, a proof of concept for your application, it's a journey of at least 2 weeks. Right now, the journey, it's probably one day. Okay, you need to have a fair understanding of what is that you wanted to showcase. Make that as an proper input. Iterate through one single IDE, and at the end of the day, you will have the application. You publish it, show it. Demo is demo. It can have the mistakes, but you will have a good prototype. Instead of weeks, it can be in a day. Okay, so this is the Spark. The similar service is available from Google, which is Firebase. I think this platform is predominantly for mobile apps, but they also have one more platform come up recent. I think it's called something, I couldn't recall it, but anti-gravity. Yeah, anti-gravity. That's the tool name. So yeah, anti-gravity. So this is their, I think they come up with a complete IDE itself, like Visual Studio. It's again for building the code by writing the prompts. Okay. Now, this is another tool, Olama. This is what we are going to use throughout our course for writing or building the applications. We are not going to rely on these online tools. If you wish to rely on the online tools, we can also still do that. That's fine. Okay. So this enables us to have these models offline on our machine. So it's already installed on my machine. Let me show you quickly. So I have a couple of models. So let me spin up one of the model. So this model is getting loaded onto my system. Let me start the task manager to show you. This is getting loaded onto my system. I have a 4 GB graphic card. So I said, if when you see the graphic card loaded onto graphic card, if you don't have it, it will be loaded onto your RAM. So it's good if you have a 16 GB RAM, or if not, it still works, but the responses would be much slower. Okay, so we have some models which are even 200, 300 MB. If your RAM is only 8 GB, we need to rely on it. It has very limited capabilities, but in that case, I think I would advise to at least take the subscription for $5. That's sufficient for the whole journey. Okay, so as you can see here, the model is loaded onto my system. So I can say what you can do. So I can start chatting with this. Now through Python, we will interact with these models. We will write our code, and we would be building applications. We will use Visual Studio Code. This is the, okay, sorry, this is an agentic solution, Crew AI. So interestingly, I have three agents here. What it does is it generates a document. It generates documentation. It generates documentation based on, it's in Crew AI. Okay. It fundamentally generates documentation based on the topic which I have given. For example, so this is the format in which I need. If I look at it, which is good. So for example, in one of the example, what I asked is, I want you to generate the documentation on object-oriented programming. Okay, so the lab manual, this is what I asked. So it gave me in the format which I really made it as a template. Give me all this information. Okay, then sorry. Then I did ask for a bit of a definitions for each and everything. Then example, Java, Python. Then I also gave a simple summary information. Okay. The similar thing is it's always oops when I tested it. But yeah, so this is how it is. This is the documentation which I forced it to only generate it on the Python in this case. Okay. I said I want examples only in the Python. The similar way, one more, I've used some other model which also gave me the external resources as well. So this is an agent to fundamentally to give you an high level understanding. Three, no, in my code, I think I'm only using two agents. Yeah, three agents. I'm using four agents. In fact, I have configured all four. I'm using four agents here to prepare notes for candidates. Okay, so all those agents do work together and produce one lab manual, one work notes, one rough notes, just as in handy book. That's what this particular code is doing up. But if we look at it from the okay, this is notes. I'm sorry. We would be making calls to our models. 1 minute. So this is a RAG implementation though. But yeah, here is where you will be calling your Olama, and we will start using our models in our system. So in this code, we are using the Llama 3.1, which is already downloaded. The same thing you can also, I'll help you to set up all these things. We will use it, we will build the whole end-to-end application. So when I say whole end-to-end application, you can also integrate this with your system. So for example, we have created one solution which fundamentally talk to the ServiceNow. So in this case, it directly creates a ticket in ServiceNow. I also have an example which does create a ticket in Azure DevOps. So you can directly make a call directly from your generative AI code, what we are going to learn. So don't worry, we'll help you with each and every step. But the point what I wanted to highlight is it's not an independent application. The output that you can leverage, which you are generating out of these programs, you can trigger the respective systems as well. You can trigger the respective systems. So that's how you will be integrating with your applications. If you wanted to, per se, you have an, I don't know SAP, but you have an application wherein you want people to book some order. So you can still make that action triggered through your generative AI program. So I have one more example wherein, let me just try to find it if I can get it. It's on a different setup. It's on a different setup. What it does is it is the L1 help desk wherein it talk to the user. It identifies the application through the conversation. It also triages whether the application is part of the support desk or not. If it is there, it captures all that information and it goes to ServiceNow to log the ticket. And as part of the journey, it also gives a response back to the end user saying that, okay, this is the solution. It can look at the database. We can create all that example. I have it as a separate code. I think it's on a different machine. Let me get it here. But yeah, you can build that course. You can build that whole flow. One agent, which is different desk tool, wherein the users would ask their questions. So it identifies which application this belongs to. It can interact with the respective system and responses back to the end user as well. It also responds back to, I mean, it can create a ticket in the system. That's the whole idea. Okay, we'll build that application as part of this journey. Any questions? And I'm speaking since 20 minutes.
One question, Krishna.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Out of this, how many of them are licensed one? Like, do we have to, anything is in the corporate level, we have to go with the license one?
That I would say you need to rely on the corporate policies. See, in our organization, we are approved to use the Azure Foundry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we use Azure Foundry for any of the AI development. Some organizations have approved Claude, so we need to go with it. Some directly has integration with the OpenAI. Some they only use the Copilot for
Okay.
coding purposes. So it's up to the organization. Some organizations, I think, yeah, I think no organization is using the Gemini. Gemini is more of a consumer side of it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
every organization has their preferences. And there are chances that you may have a mix of tools as well.
Okay.
Okay, because the one way the industry looks at it, 1 minute, let me just log into the AI Foundry to show you a bit of details. So for us, we use the AI Foundry as our predominant tool. For POC purposes, only we use the enterprise version of OpenAI. Otherwise, when it comes to the production, not even production, when it comes to the development scenarios, it's all the AI Foundry. Okay. So if you see the AI Foundry has all the models, the whole model catalog, not just from the OpenAI, but it has the models from various vendors,
Mm-hmm.
be it Claude, DeepSeek, even the Microsoft models, Mistral. So they have a wide variety of the models available. The one assurance what a Foundry gives is the additional layer of security. So all these models, they never get to use your data. That's the promise Microsoft gives. So they are isolated from the uh, original vendors. They are in the Azure platform, and none of the data of your organizations are not being used for training purposes. That's the promise. So for us, when it comes to the development or integrating the live system data into it, then the only option for us is the model foundry.
Okay.
Okay. Moreover, if it really makes no difference which platform you are using it, and then you are going to make an API call. And then you are going to make one single call, which is an API call. Okay. So it's basically the difference is very minimal. So that's a reason the one core platform what we are learning here is the LangChain, right? So in fact, though I said API call, when we are using LangChain, you will just switch the library. You may say langchain.olama. As of today, now your company says don't use Olama, use OpenAI. You'll say langchain.openai. That's the only line of code which you are going to change. Everything else is taken care by the LangChain. They say, no, I wanted to use Claude. Okay, replace OpenAI with Claude. That's it. Very simple change. So the LangChain is one single LLM aggregator, fundamentally. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
up to the organization. It is very specific to organization choices.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, as you can see here, this is the endpoint for my project. This is the code for it. That's the only thing which is going to change. Otherwise, everything is same. Good. Any other questions?
Yeah, Krishna, are we having any certifications regarding?
There are certifications from individual vendors. For example, if we see from GitHub, they have a certification for GitHub. The similar way for if you are from the Azure side, they have their certification name is I think 204 and 404. 204 is the starting intermediate skill, then 404 is their higher version. ChatGPT don't have any certifications to my knowledge. Claude, I don't think they have some certification program. I don't think they have some certification program. But yeah, certification for sure. Microsoft has one.
AI
Then GitHub.
102.
Yeah, 10.
AI 102.
Yeah, it's 102. Okay, A 102. 204 is your developer, past developer. 102 and the similar thing with 404, I think. Those are the certifications. But that covers a bigger, wider spectrum. When we look at it from the perspective of the certifications, now what would happen is the certification generally happens on the AI, which is bit different from what we are going to learn, which is generative AI. Okay, the certification is, at least I'm talking in the perspective of Microsoft, so they cover the traditional AI. They will also cover the generative AI. I mean, when I say the exam fundamentally. Our focus is only on the GenAI. Okay, so this certification may not be the straight fit if you are looking from a certification perspective. I mean, for this course. Okay, for GenAI, the direct certification is only available from the GitHub, but again from the perspective of the software engineering. Again, from the perspective of software engineering, how well they I mean, they give you certification such that they say that you are the expert in utilizing the GitHub, and you can also configure the GitHub for your organization. So that's how the certification would come up. But this aged 102, the certification from Microsoft, it has both the portions, both the traditional AI as well as the GenAI. But we are only focusing on the GenAI portion. Okay, did it help?
Yeah, marketing.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Good. What is that you are going to get? So how do we support you to get it? So there will be, it's a 50 session course. How do we go with this? So these are the things. You will be given all the recordings. You can have it them forever. Okay. The source code, what we are going to write every day, that will be shared. The whole source code will be also shared at the end at once. But as we make progress, the code will be shared. The one ask there is, I would advise you to write the code instead of executing the code, whichever is get shared, because when you write it, you will find the nuances that will help you to learn even faster. Then comes a documentation. A very lengthy or descriptive documentation has been prepared. I will also give access to all of you for this documentation. Okay. So every topic, whatever we cover, for everything, there is a documentation available. We'll be sharing this documentation with you as we go along. Then if you require, we can connect one-on-one sessions to have a bit more detailed discussion, or if you're confused of any topic, so we can have those things. So all and all, we will support you throughout this journey. If required after this, I'm happy to have 1 or 2 sessions. No problem with that. Okay. That's how our journey is going to get. Any questions? Yeah, that's the topic.
Krishna, how much of time frame, like 50 sessions means?
It spans to 2 months
Per
or
month.
more as well. That's what I've seen in the previous sessions. Due to the holiday seasons, or not just the holiday seasons, availability of all of us, right? So I see it can span, it can go beyond 2 months as well.
Okay.
Any questions? So Yeah, these are all the toolings that you are going to learn. We will start with what is GenAI, then we will start going to the prompting. Then at the end of the course, you will learn we'll start with LLMs, and we will learn these prompting techniques. The next portion is to increase more accuracy. We will do RAG. Once we do the RAG, the last important portion is tooling. This is where you get to interact. This is where you will integrate with already existing applications. So this skill we will learn it. Okay. So this is the major milestone. The next set is the agents. Okay. We will use the knowledge, whatever we gain till this place. We will build agents, and there are multiple frameworks for multiple purposes. I will show you all those things, the LangGraph, then Crue, then we have this visual tool which is called LangFlow. So all these tools we can use in building the agents, and the final portion is naturally to deploy. How to deploy it? It's a pretty straightforward approach. You all know how to deploy the application. It's just that we will look at from the perspective of the AI. So at the end, throughout this journey, we are going to utilize a lot of our existing knowledge. We will interact with files. Predominantly, we focus on the text. If you have docs, we can discuss about it. We will have Excel files, we will have PPTs. So multiple formats, even PDF. So we will see them. But our major focus goes on the text files, the notepad files. Then because of this, we are going to learn IO concepts, input output operations in the Python. Then we are going to leverage the APIs. If you are well versed with APIs, we will leverage them. Otherwise, we'll also discuss what are they, how to use them. So we will use Postman tool for a bit of an experimentation. Then we would be leveraging JSON in some places XML. Now there is one more. It's not TSON, but TKON or something. I forgot the name. It's minified version of JSON. But yeah, I think TKON, I could not recall the name properly. Just to reduce the count of tokens, what we are going to use in the generative AI, all those things. From the deployment perspective, we will especially see two different concepts. The billing, how you are going to build. It's not your concern though, if you are into organization, but it's good to know concept, because even you are building the personal projects, this skill will help you. We will also see how to fundamentally choose a LLM. This is a skill. We will learn it. And how you can expose them as APIs. Again, you will build an API at the end with the same Python, and you will expose your whole code as an API. Or we will use the GitHub Copilot to convert the Python code to the language, whatever you want, be it C#, Java, whatever it is, right? So that's how our whole journey goes. We will take small steps, no need to hurry. But the idea is to go through each and every topic. We'll build examples, the extensive examples. We'll start with simple Python. Okay, we will write methods, the classes, the file operations, each and every small operation. Then we will also integrate all our knowledge from past days to the coming days, and we will build a complete application by the end. Good. Yes, Himando.
So, Krishna, you told that deployment will be covered. So, are we using any particular uh, tool to build or deploy this?
No. There is, when you say tool, are you referring in terms of Docker?
Docker, yeah, Docker.
No, we are not going through the Docker. It would be a plain deployment. We would be using the Flask for exposing the APIs through Python.
Oh, okay.
A simple approach.
Mhm.
Because the deployment can, it always depends on your environment setup, your enterprise setup, right?
Yes.
It would be a very general knowledge. Yeah.
Okay. And the database, are we using anything, or it will?
We would not be using any databases in this course to read the data. Okay.
Mhm.
But we are going to build, we are going to learn one concept of databases, which is vector database.
Okay.
Okay. It's a concept. We will use it in the portion of RAG. Okay.
Oh,
We'll use it in the portion of RAG. So we will create vectors of our text, and we will store them in the database, and we will also retrieve the data. Okay. So we will learn one additional concept. This is vector databases. I think you might have, not sure if you heard the Pinecone, Waveit, Chroma. So all these are vector databases. We will learn this database concept. But if you wanted to read the data from database, the knowledge is same. You need a connection string. We are going to connect that connection string to the code, whatever we are using. Let in this case, the Python or any other language, that is not going to change. Our core skill is the software engineering, even stands today. I think by the end of the whole session, you will understand all the generative applications are 80% software engineering, 20% generative AI. It's not the other way around, the way
okay.
we see in advertisements.
Okay.
Okay. So it is the core software engineering. I'll show you one example. Sorry, it's my another code is on the other machine. But let's see. So here I am especially making a call to the my service now. I wanted to make a call to service now.
Okay.
So I have to write the whole code which is related to service now myself. This is
Okay.
pure software engineering.
Mhm.
I need an endpoint. I need to set my headers. I need to set my data body. I would construct a post call and send it out. This is software engineering. This is going nowhere. It still stands.
Okay.
When I'm dealing with JSON, my JSON knowledge will come and I'm still going to use it. Okay. Then the yeah, those skills will stand there here as well. If you look at the end to end, so here, yeah, it all looks, this page predominantly looks like the only generative AI code. But I just wanted to show you this. Sorry, I will get my code onto this machine. So in this is all plain software engineering. Though you may see assistant and everything, this is all software engineering. You are saying you are fundamentally doing a list concatenation. This is a list concatenation, plain software engineering skill. Okay. The only place where you are writing the generative AI code in whole line is this. What you are seeing on the screen for these 15 lines, this is the only generative AI line. Everything else is software engineering.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So our core still skills stands same. We will still going to use it. There is no doubt in that. And yeah, that's how it fundamentally goes.
Okay.
Okay. So if you wanted to connect to any other systems, not just database, even if it is SAP, I think SAP has something called Joule, their assistant. So everybody connects. Everybody still uses their core software engineering skill, but on top of it, the intelligent layer comes from the generative AI, these LLM models.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So same case. I think I have the GitHub Copilot here. So for example, this is my source code. I wanted to extend it further. 1 minute. Let me just enable the GitHub Copilot. So for example, I wanted to extend my code further, right? This GitHub Copilot is connected to my repository. So it's just that I would be giving more context to it, saying This is the context which I'm giving. I don't know. I've given a folder called data. Okay, let's leave it. What is this file is about? I'm just asking the question on this particular code. Okay, so
Okay.
the context in this case become the graph.py, which is this file. If you wanted to have the data from your systems, you will connect to those systems. If it is database, you will connect database. If it is Jira, you will connect Jira.
Mhm.
If it is Atlassian, you will connect Atlassian. If it is SharePoint, you'll connect SharePoint. So
Mhm.
that skill is even relevant today. That is not going to go anywhere. Okay.
Okay.
Once you connect it, what you do with that data will give you a better results. Okay.
Okay.
So that skill still stands. So as you can see here, I mean here I actually what I did in this case is I connected the file. So I did the file IO operation. In the backend, it says, okay, you're fundamentally plotting a scatter plot with the matplotlib. That's what it said. So if I connect to the SQL server, I can ask more questions. Okay, how many students are they available there?
Okay.
With a bit of a prompting techniques and everything. Okay,
Yeah.
our software engineering still stands there. There is no difference. The one thing what we are going to learn throughout the sessions is how to use LLMs. How can I integrate that the LLM skill with my applications, and how can I extend it further? That's the whole idea. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Any questions? Don't worry if you are not from the coding backend. We have some people from non-coding backgrounds as well, but I think they were able to get bit hands-on onto these platforms themselves by the end of the sessions. I can help you. I'll give you some more resources related to Python as we go. If you wanted to focus more on the Python as well, but this skill is sufficient to get started. I'm there to help you up. Good. Any questions? If not, that's all for today. This is how our journey is going to be. We'll start with basics of Python, basics of generative AI. We will integrate, or we'll start calling the LLMs with Python. Eventually, we'll connect external systems for RAG. Once we implemented the RAG, we will extend our applications by layering it with the generative AI coding, whatever we made. We will expose that as an application through Gradio or as a service. To build the RAG, we will do the vector databases to support us with the queries and everything. We will also learn how to use some of the existing solutions, the GitHub Copilot, or then the other one, which is the Firebase, OpenAI, ChatGPT. We will also learn use these tools. We can start. Yeah, we will start free. We will set up everything offline. We will use Olama the way I am using it. We will use Olama on our mission. Once we are good with it, we will slowly start integrating to OpenAI and every other models. These models have a cost. That's the fundamental reason we are going with the Olama. So you don't need to spend some more additional money to get started on this journey. That's the whole idea. Okay. Otherwise, these APIs do have some questions. Sorry, anybody has a question? They have some cost. That's my point. So there is a cost associated for all these APIs. That's main reason that we are not using them. So we need to bear this cost. So yeah, let's not get into additional cost. Let's start with Olama. Any questions? Any other expectations that you have, or any additional thing that you wanted to get clarified? Okay. If there is none, that's all from me for today. Let's connect later. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Krishna.